to the season finale of the Beaver News. I'm Dana Delgado.
And I'm Conrad Cartmell. We're glad you could join us one last time. We've all heard about the fatal attacks that took place at UCSB over the weekend. Tuesday night, hundreds of Oregon State students held a candlelit vigil outside the Memorial Union to honor those affected by the tragedy.
A very unfortunate event happened at UC Santa Barbara this past weekend. Behind me are a group of Oregon State students who are honoring those who have been affected. We caught up with the event coordinator to get the details.
It's a candlelight vigil for the Isla Vista shooting. As a college student and a woman, it's incredibly important for me to feel safe on campus and at night. And with the recent shooting and the prior rape allegations at U of O, I just felt it was very important for the Oregon State campus to come together and show a sense of solidarity for the actions that happened last Friday evening. I also identify as a feminist and a survivor, so it's very important to me that we address the fact that this is a misogynistic action and that misogyny had a large part to play in this. I know a lot of people have argued about mental illness and gun control laws, and tonight is not about that. Tonight is just about recognizing the names and the lives of these victims.
The candlelight vigil obtained a few hundred supporters outside of the MU. This is Bree Bauer with the Beaver News.
Along with remembering the lives lost to violence, it's important to remember that we can all make our community safer.
We hope you all had enjoyed your long holiday Memorial weekend, but it's not just about a day off of school. Alyssa Lolaquist attended the Benton County Veteran Memorial's 16th Annual Memorial Celebration.
The American flag flies at half-staff today from dawn till dusk. The graves of our armed forces are marked by flags and flyers in remembrance of the service. It is Memorial Day. This is a time when we commemorate the service of men and women who have died serving this nation in uniform. Memorial Day does matter. It is a special day. We must keep it special. Regardless of how we plan to spend our Memorial Day, I believe it is vital to the fiber of our nation that we pause to reflect upon the sacrifices of our fellow citizens. Those who gave their lives in service, the families whose lives changed forever with the death of a loved one, the lives suddenly and cruelly shattered with losses suffered by friends, neighbors, and extended community. As Americans, we can be instrumental in encouraging our fellow citizens to honor this day, perhaps by flying the American flag and the POW flag, observing the national moment of remembrance at 3 p.m., including our festive plans, a time to pause or pray, supporting local efforts to place flags on the graves of local service members. The opportunities are boundless. Today is appropriate for us here to honor and cherish the memory of all those who have, in the past, stepped forward to take similar challenges. They are all heroes, the veterans of all wars who gave all to keep us free here at home and abroad. Their sacrifices solidifies America as the world's greatest hope for democracy, freedom, and equality, and God willing, peace, lasting peace for the whole world.
Thank you, Alyssa. We need to remember all the men and women that have sacrificed their lives for this country. After a quick break, we're all busy studying, but if you're tired of the library, we have an alternative. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of studying in the library and want somewhere a little more homey? Here are Javier and Leah as they check out the best coffee spots in town.
As we approach Dead Week and Finals Week, we're headed out to find some coffee spots that definitely get that caffeine crave that we need. So come along with us as we head out. And our first stop is Dutch Bros on our study break.
Woo! Get your coffee drink on!
While getting Dutch Bros, you're always greeted with a smile, and in these stressful times of late night studying ahead, you can find at any one of their several locations around campus a place to boost your spirits.
Our second stop, we headed to Coffee Culture.
At Coffee Culture, they have an array of drinks and pastries available with free Wi-Fi. You can find it located on Kings Boulevard or grab it fast through their drive-thru located on 9th Street. If you're looking for a low-key study place, Coffee Culture would be a great place to go.
To our last stop, we're headed to Imagine Coffee that just opened, and they're open till midnight during Dead Week and Finals Week.
Imagine Coffee, located on Philomath Boulevard, is helping out students by having longer hours available during Dead Week and Finals, where you can get your coffee fix even late at night.
Well, thanks for joining us on our Coffee Fix tour, and we're hoping that you can find a place to study for Dead Week and Finals Week. This is Javier and Leah for the KBVR Beaver News.
Thank you, guys. You can never know about too many good coffee shops.
The time to get signed up for fall classes is upon us, so Holly Clausen headed out to get the inside scoop on the process.
Registration has already started, and students everywhere are stressing to find the classes they need and meet with their advisors. I'm Holly Clausen, and this is Need to Know, where the Beaver News digs deeper into the issues that affect you. We met up with student Austin Tipton to see what he thinks are some confusing aspects when it comes to registering.
There are some things that are kind of misleading when it comes to my degrees. There's the percentage tracker, which doesn't necessarily follow the amount of credits that you're taking, mainly the amount of just which classes you've taken, which can be misleading as opposed to when I thought I was a junior at this year, then I turned out that I'm actually still a sophomore.
What many students don't realize is that registering for the wrong classes can not only affect your graduation status, but also your eligibility to apply for scholarships. I met up with University Registrar Rebecca Mathern to see what the consequences are for students who are not careful.
What's so critical is that students are registering for courses that are on their academic pathway towards their degree or certificate or major or minor that they're trying to earn. Because as long as a student is staying on that pathway and meeting the other requirements that the scholarship requires, that will help them sort of maintain that eligibility for scholarships. There are going to be times where students take classes that they maybe don't need for graduation, or that would be helpful, but maybe another class would be a better fit. And so we do have students where their time towards graduation is increased as a result of not taking the right class. The best way to avoid doing that is to actually sit down with an academic advisor, walk through your plan using My Degrees, and ask questions.
Mathern isn't the only one who agrees that meeting with an academic advisor is important. Jessica Stillman, sophomore at Oregon State, explains her experience with registering.
I found that when I made an advising appointment this term versus the last couple terms, it helped me get in the direction I need to go with the classes that I'm taking rather than blindly signing up for classes I don't need. So it is important.
Isn't that cool?
And Tipton comments on his experience as well.
I think it's helpful to have someone who knows what they're talking about, especially in your department, as to where you're currently at in your degree and where you need to be in, like, say, the next term or next 2 terms.
Finally, we met up with head advisor at the College of Liberal Arts, Louis Bertaro, to ask him what students can do to make sure to get the best schedule for their needs.
You want to make sure that you're having backup courses. Have an entire list of classes of things that you can do. An ideal schedule is not always the reality. You need to make sure that you've got multiple things in place so that if a class that you want closes, that you're prepared to move on to Plan B or Plan C. So having some variables ready to do that, and then check your My Degrees afterwards. Check with your advisors to if you had to deviate from the plan that you worked up.
Figuring out your class schedule can be frustrating for students. So this term, when entering registration, make sure that you take all the necessary steps to avoid potential issues. I'm Holly Clausen, and this has been What You Need to Know.
Make sure that you're all ready to get signed up for classes next term. You don't want to miss out on an important class. Up next, we'll be taking a peek inside Oregon State fashion.
Can't save money?
Welcome back to the show. Now, we all know that fashion is a big deal to a lot of people on campus. But what specific trends are flourishing around Oregon State? Austin Russell is here to tell us about how people dress.
When people think Oregon State, fashion doesn't really come to mind. But What we as students don't realize is that fashion is all around us. Millennial Fashion, OSU's premier college-specific trend analysis, takes a look at fashion on our campus to ask students, what's in your closet?
In fashion theory, we talk about distant opinion leaders and we talk about local opinion leaders. Local opinion leaders typically are individuals that people are seeing face to face on a pretty regular basis. On our campus, all of those local opinion groups also influence fashion.
In regards to trend analysis, many theories have come into play, touching on why people dress the way they do. Within my research, it was discovered that mood and attitude often affects students' outfit choices on any given day. In one of my surveys, for example, 50% of students said they don't follow trends, but instead follow their own personality.
The interesting thing about what people wear is they want to emulate how they want people to portray themselves.
Although the analysis does emphasize college-specific fashion, it is also important to note that fashion goes beyond what people see on the streets.
Popular culture is part of the human experience, all kind of culminating and becoming, part of that person's identity.
The overall goal of this project is to increase awareness at Oregon State as to what people are wearing and why.
With regards to observations, it may be that students don't know what they are communicating through their appearance and clothing. They are communicating lots of information about themselves by what they wear. And heightened awareness of others then provides them with a frame of reference for their own behaviors.
Sometimes I see students not putting an emphasis on their appearance. Appearance does matter.
Fashion is an extension of a person's emotions, personality, or current mood. Regardless of whether we think we are fashionable or not, everyone has their own sense of style. As the seasons change from winter to spring, so do the fashion styles all over campus. Millennial Fashion is here to ask students, what's in your closet?
That looks like it would be really helpful to all those out there who are concerned with fashion.
With this being the last show of the year and the term ending in just 2 short weeks, we wanted to ask students about the most memorable part of their year and what they have planned for the summer. Here's Conrad and I with Questions in the Quad. For our last Questions in the Quad of the term, Conrad and I are out here in the quad asking people what the most memorable part of their year was and what their plans are for the summer.
My favorite memory for this last school year was joining Tri Delta and becoming a part of the Greek community on campus.
Probably meeting each other.
Yeah.
Hanging out all the time.
Yep. I would
awesome.
say the same thing.
Yeah.
I think the most memorable part of this year for me was the story of the women's basketball team. It was really exciting to see the program just kind of come out of nowhere, watch the unity, the bonds that the players got, and just really represent Oregon State well.
The most memorable part of my year was definitely going to all the football games and meeting new friends.
Studying abroad in Norway. I studied there for 5 months during fall term, and it was a really eye-opening experience, experiencing a different culture, being somewhere that I've never been before, especially Europe. I've never been to Europe before.
And this summer I will be interning with the Forest Service and also working at 41 South, a local restaurant.
For me, working at Cars Jr. It was fun working there.
I studied abroad in the fall in London, so it was amazing. I traveled around Europe, and it was just the best experience of my life.
I'm going to graduate, which is memorable.
This summer, I'm going to be taking classes online and also be back in my hometown working as a nanny.
I work for the Barometer, so I'll be covering events here on campus, and then I plan to be up in the Yukon doing documentary work with salmon.
I'm going home to Burns in Harney County, and I'm fighting wildland fire, so that'll pretty much consume my life.
Working. I'm graduating in fall, so I have a little bit more time to look for a job, but as of right now, I will be taking a month of classes here.
I'm actually leaving next week to go to Okinawa, Japan to teach swim lessons for a program called Camp Adventure that's run through the University of Oregon.
What I'm going to do for the summer is open my food cart, and it's going to be soup and sandwiches, sometimes tacos, depends on the day.
I am volunteering on a marketing plan and strategy for a company in Portland.
I'm planning on staying in Corvallis and working and probably taking a class or two while I'm here, so enjoying the sun.
It looks like OSU students are doing a lot of fun stuff this summer. And for the last time this year, we'll see you back in the studio.
It's always fun getting to hear about what everyone has planned for the summer. After the break, we catch up with Max Bettendorf to get this term's highlights at KBVR.
Now, we all know there's a lot going on out in the world, but for our next segment, Max Bettendorf directs your attention to what's going on right here at OSU Student Media.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. We are back here behind the table. Thank you. Oh, no, you. Welcome back to the recap. As always, I'm your host, Maxwell Bettendorf, here to tell you everything that's going down here at KBVR TV Studios. We're going to start this week off with a little announcement. This is going to actually be my last episode of the year. I know, I'm sorry. I'm deeply saddened by this all myself. Well, but because this is my finale, we are going to be recapping just a little differently than we usually would. This week on the recap, I am not going to tell you what is going on currently at KBVR Studios. Instead, I will be revisiting the best episodes from every show I have been recapping on my own show. Shows like How We Did It, Split Screen, Locals Live, Glimpses, and In the Pines. From gaming on the couch to head-banging local music, this is the recap. You got it now. All right, let's get the show started. All right, calm it down. Going back nearly a whole month and a half, we were all graced with How We Did It's incredible special effects in making a real lightsaber fight for their first episode of the season. This episode brought to life all of our dreams in witnessing or even wielding a true lightsaber. And for that, I believe this episode to be How We Did It's best. If you want to watch the episode yourself, be sure to search How We Did It, Episode 1 on YouTube. And don't forget to favorite and share it out to all of your dear friends. Another favorite of mine would be that of Split Screen's second episode of the term, which featured PC gaming, tabletop gaming, Sega All-Star Racing on the Xbox 360, and even yours truly. Thank you. Oh, I know. Thank you. What made this show so great was its fast-paced, action-filled, and very informative gaming that left you cheering for your favorite players and video games. If you want to get your game on, just search Split Screen Season 2, Episode 2 on YouTube, and be sure to check out all the other episodes as well. By now you might have guessed which Locals Live episode I found to be the best this year. Posted only 2 weeks ago was their second episode of the season, featuring a very popular Archer's Rise. I have talked about this episode for the past 3 weeks, given that this music is phenomenal. An extremely well done episode that had me begging to hear more from this local band, and even got me to re-watch some of the older Locals Live episodes as well. To watch this episode, or even catch some of the others that have been done on this show, just search Locals Live, Archer's Rise. Glimpses, while still working on their second and last episode of the term, has still managed to make me a major fan of the show, with just their first episode, The Station. The Station has been featured several times on the recap and will be again today. This episode is amazing, giving us the viewers insight to what the production of Glimpses used to be like in their more difficult and aggravating days. The Station is Glimpses' first actual comedy, and honestly, it's pretty hilarious. But who am I to tell you? Just search Glimpses, The Station on YouTube and discover it for yourself. Lastly, we have the latest episode of In the Pines. This video was aired just earlier this week and instantly became a hit. In this episode, the crew featured two fantastic and very interesting local bands, That Coyote and Isle of View, where we the viewers get the honor of seeing these bands play live in our studios here at KBVR. If you missed the chance to see that episode live, then you can treat yourself to seeing it online by searching In the Pines, That Coyote and Isle of View on YouTube. Now for the moment we have all been dreading, the end of this final episode. As this school year comes to a close, my show as well must conclude. But have no fear, my delicate viewers, for this is not a goodbye. But see you later. I will be back next fall for more epic recaps and joyous reviews. Until then, I'm Maxwell Bettendorf, and this is The Recap, signing off. Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind. Oh, no, you. No, you. All right. Until next time, see you later, everybody. No, you. No, I love you.
Congratulations to all those who worked at KBVR this year. It was a really special one.
Author Tobias Wolff was here at OSU last week to receive the Stone Literary Award. Kendall Weber went to the event for the full story.
Tobias Wolff received the Stone Award and appeared at OSU on Thursday for a reading and Q&A. Following the event, there was a reception and book signing, which was free to the public.
Well, tonight we were celebrating the second incarnation of the Stone Award, which was given by Patrick and Vicki Stone, in honor of a great American writer who has been a force for good young students in the literary community, and also has produced a huge body of amazing work over the lifetime career. And we really felt that Tobias Wolff was a great choice for our second one. We bring these writers in, and they talk to our undergraduates in the morning and the graduate students in the afternoon, and then we have a big celebration here. It was established in 2011 by Patrick and Vicki Stone. The largest, it's $20,000. It's the largest literary award given by any university in the country for lifetime achievement. So it's very special.
The event had a great turnout of almost 700 people, and Tobias signed copies of books after the event. After a quick break, get the update on Beaver sports.
Mini bars right over there.
Despite their loss against the U of O, Oregon State retained its #1 ranking in baseball and is headed into the postseason seeded #1 overall. Marvin Lewis headed out to talk to pitcher Andrew Moore.
The Beaver baseball team locked up the #1 national seed over the weekend and are now practicing for their matchup against North Dakota State on Friday. We caught up with pitcher Andrew Moore.
Okay, so you guys secured the #1 seed. What was the team's reaction?
Yeah, we were pumped. You know, we weren't too sure after dropping the midweek to Oregon, then dropping 2 or 3 from USC. They played a good series. We knew they would. So we weren't really sure where we'd stand. But yeah, after seeing that 1 seed, it was kind of a sigh of relief that was over with, and it's just we're ready to start the postseason and start the new season. So we're excited.
Yeah, like you said, you guys had to face some adversity with a couple losses and your pitcher getting suspended towards the end of the season. How were you guys able to overcome that?
Yeah, definitely. Benny, he's one of our leaders, and we just kind of came together and said, got to back him, and just kind of waited it out and played well in that Washington series, and then just like you said, faced some adversity there where last year we had some of that, and earlier this year when we dropped a few games. And we've always responded pretty well, so I'm confident that we'll come out and play our brand of baseball and get back to playing well.
So you guys came up short, unfortunately, last year in the tournament. What do you guys need to do different this year to get to the championship?
Yeah, I think it was just, obviously we ran into a good Mississippi State team, and they swung the bats well. And it's just like the 05 team where they got there, and it's a little bit of get there, and you've never been on that stage before and stuff, so it's a little bit different. Where now we have the experience, most of us have been there, seen what it's all like. So I think just kind of sticking to the same deal, not trying to do anything different, where, we're the #1 national seed for a reason. We've put in the work and we have the talent, so it's just sticking to our game, not trying to do too much. And, I think it really just comes down to taking it one game at a time, where we can't look at Omaha right now. We have to worry about, North Dakota State on Friday and then whoever on Saturday and Sunday. So I think it's just kind of, sticking to one game at a time is the main thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. As a top seed, it's easy to overlook teams sometimes. How do you guys stay focused and not worry about what's ahead and keep focused on the?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, last year we played Texas San Antonio here and almost dropped one on the first game of the regional. So we can't take any team lightly. Everyone's in the tournament for a reason. So just have to focus and give full effort Friday night, and then hopefully if that's good enough, go on Saturday night and see who we get there. So it'll be a good challenge.
And who do you guys think your biggest threat is this year in the tournament?
That's tough to say right now. You know, I know we know Irvine and UNLV are a couple good teams. They have some guys who can swing it, and Irvine has a pretty good pitcher, I've heard, so they'll be a good challenge to get through there. And then, you know, we have 3 good teams lined up in the Super Regional as well, so it's going to be a tough road to Omaha, but, you know, if we play our brand of baseball, I'm confident that can happen.
I'm Marvin Lewis. Thank you for watching this edition of Beaver News Sports.
The Beavers, along with a number of other teams, will be playing at OSU this weekend in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Be sure to catch up on all the action.
The weather today was beautiful. We hear from Conrad Greer to see what it will be like this weekend.
Hey Beavers, it's Conrad Greer here, ready to show you the weekend weather forecast. This is also my last segment of the academic year. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed me. I hope I'm back next year. In Corvallis this weekend, it will be mostly sunny, with highs in the 70s. Finally, it won't be raining. The term is winding down, so last-minute weekend getaways are becoming more popular. Here's the weekend travel forecast. In Newport, it's going to be mostly sunny with mid-60s. The coast will be looking and feeling nice. Portland and Salem will be in the high 70s or low 80s, with mostly sunny skies. Get some sunscreen and kick back. Bend will be experiencing chances of thunderstorms Saturday, with mostly sunny skies Sunday. Temperatures in the 70s. Roseburg will be partly cloudy, with mid-70s temperatures. Chances of rain are slim though. Back in Corvallis for week 10, the sun will be out in all its glory, warming us up to the low 80s to start us off. Signing off for the last time this year, as always, keeping the sun shining here, I'm Conrad Greer. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Connell. It really is nice to have a good weather report. Well, that is all the time we have for this term. And for the last time, I'm Dana Delgado.
And I'm Conrad Cartmell. For more of your Beaver News, be sure to watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter @Beaver News. Thanks, and we'll see you next year.